channel on this Tuesday, October 28th at 6 o'clock in the morning. I broke down and went to Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't been there for a couple of months, and I got an extra large hazelnut. I buy the hazelnut Dunkin' Donuts brand from Shaw's, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be the same. And then I broke down and got the hazelnut creamer and put that in, and it just doesn't seem to taste the same. But it's funny, I only recently, beginning of the year, learned that they actually had an extra large. Cream and sugar. Shaken, not stirred. Anyways, I got a bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant, snack and bacon, and hash browns, and a dozen donuts. I'll freeze them and take one out as I want one. Upside down. So they had some Halloween themed munchkins, but not really like pumpkin, donut with a pumpkin faced orange icing on it or something like that. So there's nothing really here. I got 2 jelly sticks, 2 Boston cream, and 2 coconut. I like coconut. I know coconut's usually the ones that's left behind later on in the day. That's a English muffin. Oh well. Hope I didn't get somebody else's sandwich. Someone pressed the wrong button. Ketchup. I need a larger table. Oh. which hand I used for my for my bank card. Anyways, before I wasn't able to use this. I'm a little sore today because you know what I did? I lifted a lot of weights. Nope. I used the side of the bed and a pillow as a cushion on the floor to get down onto the floor, unroll my exercise mat, and just do some lower back exercises. Which one thing is you're on your stomach and then you have like your hands underneath your chest and you push up as you know, a little at a time. As you get better, you know, you bend more. That's supposed to decompress your back. But just getting up and down on the floor, I feel like I did some type of marathon. The snack and bacon, for some reason, impresses me that it's not some fake bacon bits type of thing. What was that brand of bacon that came out? It was sort of like, I don't think it was imitation bacon, but it was chopped up and then formed into strips to look like bacon. They used to always have the commercials on when that first came out, like 20 years ago. Can't recall. Oh. I do have a receipt somewhere. I wonder what it says on the receipt. No, the receipt says English muffin. So she just, I said croissant, but she heard, or pressed the English muffin button. So I've been making, I buy a bag of the yellow potatoes, the thin-skinned ones. You don't even have to peel those. They're usually good, I don't know, smaller than a baseball but larger than a golf ball. I put them in the microwave for 4 minutes, and then I slice it up, put it in a pan with some olive oil, salt and pepper. Sometimes I put butter on at the end, but I get a nice crisp coating seasoning on them, and they're better than hash browns. I like the fried potatoes. Used to scramble up an egg and pour it over the potatoes once they were done. Mix that up. But I've been good with the sweet and low. And I bought those Vienna Fingers cookies for my sweet tooth, and then recently, well, in addition to those, I had bought a pack of dark chocolate under the guise that dark chocolate is healthy for you. So I'd have if I had a craving, I'd have either a couple of Vienna Fingers or a dark chocolate candy bar. But I was craving that texture of the Dunkin' donut. It's 38 degrees this morning. I was thinking I liked the series, the Star Trek Enterprise. I know some people, Trekkies, don't like that. I really didn't watch the one with, I can't remember the name of it, Janeway was the captain. I never really watched that. I can watch that now as an option because I haven't seen many of those episodes. But I like this. I like the Star Trek Enterprise series. After I got done with, give me a second. I think at the time I had Verizon Fios cable. So they had the Sci-Fi channel, and I would watch back-to-back episodes of like Stargate, and then they would repeat. I'd watch it again, and all of a sudden one day I'm like, I'm done with Stargate. I'd seen some episodes or clips on YouTube. I'm like, I wonder if it's time to. I have this series on DVD, and I'm like, I wonder if it's time to start watching that again. Because I haven't really watched it probably. I got over it like maybe 10 years ago. I can't believe how long ago those series were on. Like the Star Trek Enterprise episodes. Amazon you can buy like season 1. Season 1's like $34 maybe. It's under 40. I can't recall if it's like $34 or $39. And I think there's only 3 seasons. But anyways, you can buy the series, the DVD package with extras for under like 40, in between $40 and $50 on eBay. So there's all this pushback about digital media because you don't really own. You think you own it, but if they turn it off, you don't have the physical media. You can't watch it without an internet connection. So I was thinking, geez, for $34, I can get the digital version, or for around the same price, I can get the whole series. And another thing is, depending on the times, the political correctness, I didn't think about this, is the release on the DVD might be different than the digital because they'll go in and edit stuff that has been deemed, inappropriate or something like that. There's a bunch of listed ones. One of them, though, at least the guy's up front, he says it comes from a home where people used to smoke, so you can smell the smoke. He says he tried to air them out and clean them, but you can still smell the cigarette smoke on the DVDs. But another one I missed out on, I was going to bid on it. They had a buy now option, where it was, I think it's like a 4 DVD set and 2 of them weren't even opened. That sold. This nor'easter come through, then we get another storm. We get an inch of rain. I think we got another inch of rain predicted this week. Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It's tomorrow. But I'm like, man, I hope that doesn't bode well for winter with snowfall. I saw a headline where over 20 hikers were rescued. I'm like, oh, I wonder where this is, because they showed. I thought it was a bus, but I think it was a train. I think it was the cog railway train. And they had a snowstorm on Mount Washington, and they had to be rescued. I don't get it. I go to the website WX Nation, slash wxnation.com slash whatever major market you're in. They'll have a summary of all the links for that area, like Boston. They'll have the weather radar from channel 4, 5, and 7. And they'll have the national weather forecast, the national weather radar. Everybody's got their iPhones, and they don't know that it's going to snow. They're caught off guard. They have the world's information at their fingertips. Okay. Yeah, 20-something people. I took the Cog Railway once. Or twice. And as you go up, you can see crosses, markers where people have perished hiking Mount Washington. I should take my car up there so I can get one of those bumper stickers. This car climbed Mount Washington. You have to make sure you have good brakes. Unless you don't do that anymore. Okay, it's donut time. 24 minutes have gone by. Might as well reset the camera right now instead of waiting for it to run out. Oh yeah. So it's now 6:21 in the morning and the sun still hasn't come up. Gotta go with my favorite. Let's pick the largest one. Jelly. Wow, that's a pretty big donut. Coconut. I can't believe how sore I am just for, it's almost like doing a bench press with my body weight. Not even my body weight, just my upper torso. Okay. Jelly donut. Oh man. American breakfast. I practically inhale these things. How much? Really can't see through that. I can't really see the level. Oh wow, I think it's like up. I was gonna say it's down here, but I think it's like here. Oh. I went to bed early last night. So I got up and I'm like, I'd be forcing myself to go to sleep. I'm pretty awake. Let's do something productive like eating. Dunkin' Donuts. Wow. 12 donuts. I was gonna say the prices. It's pretty crazy. I know, I see people go to Dunkin' Donuts every day. Then they're probably gonna go someplace for lunch. Then stop in fast food on the way home. A dozen donuts. I've said this over and over again. There used to be, but there might have been not even a Dunkin' Donuts yet. We had a local, independent donut shop. I don't remember anything else. They must have made bread too or something. But my father would send me down there with, I was going to say $2. But no, he sent me down there with $1. And this shows you the value of money. So a dozen donuts, and they were bigger than those donuts. I don't think it was just because I was a kid. They were bigger. I know Dunkin' Donuts used to be bigger too, and then they started getting smaller. Shrinkflation. Even before they said shrinkflation. But it was 99 cents for a dozen donuts, and I'd get a penny back. And when I got home, I made sure to give that penny to my dad. And that was occasionally. That wasn't, occasionally we get a donut. $0.99 for a dozen donuts in my lifetime. That sounds like a 1920s or turn of the century story or experience. I remember I used to ride my horse down to the donut shop and get a dozen donuts for 99 cents. Back then it probably would have cost 25 cents. Now 25 cents was a lot of money even back in the 1800s. You know what you don't get anymore is old time, well, I guess I just said one. Old timer stories where I had a neighbor told me once that the wives on payday would go down in Boston. They would go into Boston for the husbands that worked into Boston. They go down on payday and meet their husbands getting out of work, because when the husbands got out of work, they'd go to the nearest bar or burlesque show or whatever and spend the money. So the wives had to go down there and intercept them before they started spending their paycheck. My dad was from East Boston, and he remembered when Logan Airport was a grass field. And he also remembered the kids getting out of school to watch the Hindenburg fly over. Or Zeppelins fly over. Not certain if it was I think he said it was the Hindenburg, but they had other Zeppelins back then. Not just the famous Hindenburg disaster. But they probably, even planes nowadays too, they just don't fly out of New York and cross the Atlantic. They go up the coast, like over Boston, Maine, and fly over toward England, Newfoundland, England. Yeah, just have the biplanes flying off of grass fields at Logan Airport. Yeah, I don't know if we get a lot of snow this year, if I'm going to be able to handle it. My snowblower, it works, but it doesn't throw the snow like I don't think it ever really did. It just wasn't a snow blower that really threw the snow a good distance. And I was thinking of getting a new one, a new Aaron's from True Value Hardware, the next town over. I think they go for I want the 28-inch cut. I don't want a really wide one. But it has it's 824, so it's an 8 horsepower 24-inch cut. I think that goes for $1,500, $1,700. Yep. I'll never forget that. This whole year would have been different if I just didn't go out that day and push that wet slush. What a year. That's why I'm doing the lower back exercises, to see if I can take any pressure off of herniated disc. Ketchup. saw a couple of joggers out. I wish I could do that, but I'm afraid to do that because every step I go away from the house, there's a step that I have to take to get back to the house. And my knees just... You might think when you start you're doing okay, but then your knees hurt and you're like, oh no. I have to be able to get back now. I've been just walking in place. You know, you can get your heart pumping pretty good by just picking up your knees, and also standing on your toes to exercise your calves. That's supposed to be good for doing. You do that before you go to bed so you don't get cramps. And if you have a tendency to get leg cramps, that pumps the blood in your legs. I don't think I can jump rope. Man, jumping rope, that's more difficult than jogging. People don't realize that's pretty intense. I can, every time I do it, it's like I've never done it before. But then it loosens up. But for months, I'd say half the year, I couldn't pick my arm up over my head. Then psychologically, you don't think you can do it. Okay. It extends the spine too, I think. Reach for the sky. Uh-oh. Yeah. Whew. Man. And that was almost overnight. It's like one day I had, what do they call it now? I had the restricted motion, but I forget what they're called. My scapula wasn't stuck, it's just that I had lost the movement in my shoulders. I don't know why, it just happened like overnight. The latest is this hand here, I lost my grip power. Now it's kind of back, like I couldn't even squeeze a tube of toothpaste. It's so odd. You know what I did as an experiment? It just came to my mind. I said, you know what am I doing differently? I didn't even put that much thought into it. I said, let me stop this. I've got vitamin C, vitamin E. I bought vitamin E with omega-3 in it. It's supposed to be this special select brand of vitamin E without any contaminants in it. I've got calcium supplements. I got a vitamin supplement with omega-3, and then recently I bought an iron. Man, that's like putting a rusty nail in your mouth. Those tablets, you gotta swallow them immediately because they taste so bad. So then another multivitamin, and I was just taking these all. The multivitamin with the omega-3, it's almost like the gumdrops with the sugar-coated gumdrops. They're so good, they're like candy, so I take like 2 of those. Then I'm like, I feel like I have I gotta satisfy a sweet tooth. I feel like having one of those multivitamins again, so I take 2 more. So then the other day I started researching. I said, what are the side effects? Can you take too much vitamin E or vitamin D or too much calcium? So this is like the second day I haven't taken any of the supplements. And I know it's anecdotal, but I think I feel better. Oh, another thing is I get the protein drinks, which has vitamins in there too. And then they have the name of it. Let me go get it. Okay, so I just went and grabbed everything. So I recently bought this. This is Iron Blood Builder. Remember, Lawrence Welk used to have the commercials for Geritol. If you have poor blood or weak blood, multivitamin, vitamin C, especially in New England in the wintertime when you're not getting enough sun. Magnesium for leg cramps. Then I recently bought this one. They got it in a dark bottle because the sun effects degrades it. Vitamin E. So omega-3 fish oils. And now that's supposed to be good for your joints. So I would take that and still take these because I know if they're expiring or whatever. May of 28. No, May of 28. Calcium. So I'd be taking those too. And then this, I was taking these like candy. Multivitamin with omega-3 for men. It's funny. I wonder if that's for politically correct reasons. But wouldn't you call that the wrong pronoun too? For him instead of for men? That's odd way to phrase that. But I've got the protein powder, which I don't use because I've got the protein shakes. But then I'd take a protein shake and I'd put a dose of this creatine in it. Now, as a funny story is, I had a really weird dream, almost like on the verge of a nightmare. And what happened was I was on YouTube and I saw a clip. I didn't even know about the movie where Jason what's his name? The guy that was like in Aquaman or whatever. What else was he in? Anyways, he plays a Samoan king or Hawaiian king. And I saw this clip. It was like the final battle or something like that. And I had the word Samoa in my head. And I couldn't get the word out of my head. But I had some weird dream that was like on the verge of nightmare. And so I Googled about creatine, whether or not there's any evidence. It's all anecdotal. Whether you get weird dreams from having creatine, taking creatine, and it said there are reported instances of people saying they get weird dreams from creatine. But I don't know. I've taken the creatine after a workout, and I honestly couldn't tell you that I was getting like quicker recovery or sometimes I'd forget to take it, and then supposedly even if you take it after you've worked out, like a day after, or just take it on a regular basis, it's supposed to help with building muscle. But I sort of laid off that. But I was taking all these, and it's not just a matter if you take too much, you just, it just goes out with your urine. You can't have negative side effects. I don't know if these are all considered water soluble, but you can have negative side effects from taking too much of these. So, I know I had that. Another thing is, like, one morning I got up, that one's cracking, but my wrists were painful. It's like nothing up until that point, and then the next thing I know, my wrists are painful. I'm like, what is going on here? Same thing with my grip. Like the day before, no problem. Then the next day, I lost my grip strength. Now it's coming back. Very odd. I guess the best thing to do is just to have a balanced diet and get your vitamins from your food instead of all these supplements. Well, get your vitamins from a jelly donut. Dunkin. I'll always say Dunkin' Donuts. I'll never just say Dunkin'. I don't know why everything has to be abbreviated. You put so much effort into developing a brand, and then you start taking away from that brand recognition. That's a big deal. Okay, so let's see. Yesterday I had breakfast. Oh, it's almost time's up. I reset the camera again. Yeah, so yesterday I had breakfast. I didn't have lunch. And then when I wanted to eat something, I have one piece of frozen swordfish left. I might have that tonight. Or because I had the Dunkin' Donuts, I might not have anything for the rest of the day. Maybe a protein shake at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. But I had breakfast, so I had 2 eggs. Then I started having toast again. I gotta stop doing that with my sweatshirt on, my sweatpants. Even my hat, I weigh in at 175, so I'm still under 175. But depending on water weight, I can be up or down 2 or 3 pounds. And that's another thing. I think these things make you urinate a lot too. But anyways, last night, or I don't think it was last night, I think it was the night before, I had made myself a salad, and I had a can of sardines in Louisiana hot sauce. This morning before going to Dunkin' Donuts, I said, you know what, I'm just going to open up a can of tuna fish. That is having some protein, a whole can of tuna fish, that'll satisfy my hunger. So I almost just had a can of tuna fish. So yeah, I'm gonna try. Maybe go for a week without any vitamin supplements. Although, I don't know. I didn't notice anything. I started taking this I had no blood work done that told me I needed to take something, any of these. Iron levels without side. It says iron levels without side effects. Maybe I'll take one of these. It's like putting a rusty piece of metal in your mouth. You gotta swallow this immediately. And you can actually, I think it does smell like beets. There it goes. Okay. I lied. I took a supplement. That's that. Yeah, so I hesitate to take this any time, like within 6 hours of going to bed. Like maybe I've taken this in the morning with one of my protein drinks. I've mixed in one of these in the morning. But yeah, I could. Maybe that was part of the nightmares. I couldn't get the word Samoan out of my head. I couldn't stop thinking about it. There was another aspect of it that was, how dreams are. It's just weird. You can be afraid of a spoon or something like that. It's just a feeling or a dread associated with an inanimate object or colors or something. It's just weird. How dreams work, where you could be fishing. What is that the comedian says? Is that one comedian makes a joke where he's talking to his neighbor, and the next thing you know, he's building a go-kart with him or something like that in his dreams. Something like that. Another way is to get rid of the soreness is to do more exercise. Or I don't do exercise. I do like shoulder shrugs, and then this thing you do where you've got your hands down and you go up with your palms facing back, and then you move your palms forward and you do the same type of shrug. I saw one. The guy was on his stomach, and what was he doing with his shoulders? His scapulas were just going like, the motion he had in his scapulas was incredible. Just recently I was able to, I'm a stomach sleeper, and I was able to I could get one but not the other. But I used to, without thought, put both hands, palms down under a pillow and sleep on my stomach. I couldn't do that without a lot of effort and pain. And then an arm would fall asleep too. So it would wake me up. But now I'm getting a lot better. I know that one time I went to Burger King, and I had to take my good hand, pick my arm up and put it on the steering wheel. And I had to pay with my right when I went through the drive-thru, because I had I even couldn't pick this up to put it on the door with the window down. Couldn't do that. So I have made some progress with my shoulders. Yeah, I think breakfast is going to be the only meal today. I feel guilty having that, the Dunkin' Donuts breakfast, and the donuts are going in the freezer. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? When I was putting the donuts down, I wanted to do non-eating. Well, I need to just go ahead and watch. There's no, I don't know, shame. There's should be any guilt in just copying other people's videos. I mean, I would imagine most of ASMR has been done. So to get ideas from, or copy, or emulate other people's ASMR. Like Doctor, I wanted to get a green screen, but I didn't know if it was better to get the chroma. There's a chroma key paint and paint the wall, because then you get no motion. Like if a green screen, I'd have to put some J hooks or I hooks in the ceiling with chains and pull down a green screen. Learn how to do green screen. Or I could have like a barbershop background, or a clinical background, as people do, and do those type of ASMR. What are they called? Not point of view, but they do. They're a doctor, or they're a bookkeeper, or a lot of people. They're really talented. They put a lot of. It's almost like movie quality. I know this one woman. She's got like bookcases of books, and she does a lot of stationary type of ASMR where she's writing, and the whole atmosphere and the lighting is cinematic type of lighting. But what I got is wow, this is becoming a long video. I keep on rambling on, but the sun's coming up now. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. But I've got this watercoloring kit. Long time ago, I tried to do some watercoloring. I got a container around here somewhere with the tubes of paint, which still should be good. But I've got, this little kit here. But I probably did this more than 15 years ago, but I never finished it. I saw there's a faint outline. It's almost like paint by numbers, but I saw on Amazon, or maybe it was on YouTube, and then I went to Amazon to look at it. I forgot all about those. I remember them from being a kid. I think my mother used to buy those and was doing a couple of these painting kits where you had these little round plastic containers of paint, and you had the print with the numbers on them, and the little plastic container had the number on it, and it wasn't watercolor. I think it was like acrylic or oil, and you'd paint by numbers. Well, I think it either never went away or it's making them come back. And I was watching a video. I'm like, I remember those kits. I paint by numbers kits with the little container of paint numbered. But yeah, this came with I had bought some books. This thing on landscaping. Watercolors is actually, I think, more difficult medium to paint with, and like oils and acrylics. Get these swatches here. chart to show color mixing and staining power. I know there's a Japanese guy I've seen on YouTube that just does unbelievable watercolors. Must have been doing them his whole life. But yeah, I have a vague memory. I got the paper and then you would wet the whole paper. Stuck to I remember getting this acrylic piece made, or I cut it myself, and then the paper would go on that and you'd wet it, or else all dusty. But doing some like ASMR craft type of things. So thanks again everyone for stopping by for our Dunkin' Donuts breakfast on this Tuesday, October 28th at what was 6 o'clock in the morning. I gotta do some stretch. My shoulders are feeling better. I think I don't know how, I never even knew it was a thing, is you can have a stuck scapula. In some instances you have to go in and do surgery in order to unstick it. I didn't know that. I said this before in a video. A scapula actually moves on your rib cage in the back. It's not like a flat, it's like concave. And yeah, I had lost the range of motion for some reason. I had inflammation for some reason. Yeah. What a year. And mentally too. I think all those vitamins, if it's affecting your muscles and your joints, it's affecting your whole body. So your brain too. I just feel good this morning. That's why I got up and went to Dunkin', I guess. But that can change in an instant. I have a dentist appointment today. The cleaning. Okay. Oh, yeah. One last thing is that I'm able to go out with the car with the sun down now that I have 2 headlights. That was another thing. Another excuse I use is how I've got 2 headlights now. I'm not going to get pulled over. Well, thanks again everyone for stopping by and watching another one of my videos and me rambling on. I really want to do some non-eating videos. I like to get a better microphone, a good enough microphone that is not on camera and can pick up like scissor sounds and writing sounds. Yep, appreciate your continued support and your comments. Thanks to all my PayPal contributors. Thanks for using the Amazon affiliate link in the description to make any of your Amazon purchases. And I was thinking of getting some oysters. And another thing that I stopped taking, it's been a couple of days now, Tylenol. So I don't know if I should drink it. I haven't had a beer or any alcohol. That's all I drink is beer anyways when I do. And it's usually because I'm having oysters. I go to Cappy's and buy a 6-pack of Corona for the oysters. Antiseptic. But I was thinking of getting oysters have gone way up. Big time. I wonder if it's fuel costs or labor costs. Or maybe there's a shortage of oysters. I was going to order last week. I was going to order Thursday. I think, oh, I think there's still time. And then they said the expected delivery was going to be like Wednesday, the following week. I'm like, that's odd, because they come right out of Boston warehouse, so I get it almost like overnight. So I didn't order. But yeah, maybe I'll do an oyster video or I want to do a hot pot video. I was looking up, I go rambling again. H-Mart, you have to get there's a soup base, and then I don't know what vegetables I use, and then get the Wagyu beef. For the hot pot. I bought a hot pot probably more than a year ago now. I haven't taken it out of the box. Electric hot pot. Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure to turn on the refrigerator. So thanks again, everyone. Appreciate your continued support and your comments. Till next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.